is Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. A talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have the impressive Jenna Cappucci. And we're going to be discussing her amazing children's book, The Lucky Ladybug, available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a whole host of other places. Head on over there today, pick up your copies, and before we go any further, I want to take this opportunity and point out the fact that Jenna was brought to our network, People of Distinction, today by one of the best publishing firms in the business. People you already know, I'm talking about Citi of Books. So if you're a writer out there who has gone through their process and now you need help moving the book you just developed, well, look no further than Citi of Books, people, because this is exactly what they specialize in. You're going to want to head on over to citiofbooks.com and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is going to help you do just that. And listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Jenna here on the line. Now, people, the moment you start to do research on her book, you're going to understand the conversation that we're getting ready to have. Trust me when I tell you, this is going to be a heartwarming and thought-provoking conversation that's, perfect for kids and adults alike. I'm telling you, in this episode, we're going to sit down with Jenna, who has written a delightful children's book about a ladybug who learns to embrace life's unexpected twists and turns. And we're going to dive into how this tiny bug's journey teaches us about resilience, celebrating differences, and why you should never judge a book, or, in this instance, a ladybug, by its cover. I'm telling you, this book is layered. It is nuanced. It is much, much more than just a book for children. I know a lot of adults out there that are going to be able to benefit from this conversation and benefit from picking up this book. Okay? We have gotten to a point in society where, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was going to say, I don't think we were ever this mean. That's not true. I think we were always very, kids are mean sometimes, right? And the comments have just flown. But it feels like it's just more widespread nowadays than it ever has been before. We can dive down the rabbit hole. We're not going to do it during today's show. There are a number of reasons why people across the board have become so brazen, why people aren't as empathetic as they should be. But I'm telling you, man, I'm not here for it, and neither is Jenna. This book is going to be something that's going to help us put things back in perspective. Whatever happened to the old notion of treat others how you want to be treated? Something's a little off here, people, and we need to get back to it. We need to get back to having that compassion with one another, having the empathy for one another, and truly help bring things back in. We're going to start with the children, but remember, I'm going to bring it back. A lot of you adults listening in right now, you know who you are. I don't need to point fingers. You can take some lessons here from this as well. And at the end of the day, Jenna is the expert, man. It's her book. She's written it. She's going to be able to articulate everything much better than I ever could. Sit back and strap in. Jenna, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Jenna. Better than I deserve to be, and I appreciate you asking. Listen, I'm very impressed by what you've done here, because you're taking a notion that is universal, something that has been around for years, it seems, right? I mean, again, that old adage of never judge a book by its cover, right? Don't be so quick to assume. And then you look at how we live our lives, and so often we don't follow those rules. So you're talking about something universal, something that is accessible to all, but something that is oftentimes overlooked. And because of that, it carries weight, it carries power, And we're looking forward to the discussion here, okay? First and foremost, start by telling us a little bit more about yourself and your background.
I am an X-ray tech in Massachusetts, and I am newly married and a new mom to an almost 9-month-old boy. So this book has extra special meaning now that I have somebody to read it to.
Well, Jenna, first and foremost, congratulations on the marriage. Nothing but success for you and your partner, and of course, for your beautiful child that you have at home. And then lastly, Jenna, I don't know how I missed this, but you're a fellow New Englander. I love it. All right, I'm a little up the road. I used to be. I've spent almost 20 years now in Southern California. I'm in Los Angeles, but of course, Rhode Island, born and raised there. What part of Massachusetts?
I am in north central Massachusetts. Rhode Island's pretty much New
York. A little further away, right? A little further away. Well, I've been all through Massachusetts, been there as well. And listen, whenever we have a fellow New Englander here on the line, it's an extra special occurrence for us. So welcome to People of Distinction. We're thoroughly looking forward to this. Jenna, tell us about your book, The Lucky Ladybug. We're dying to know about it.
I wrote this book for my niece, Alexis. She's my only niece, and I've always called her my ladybug ever since she was little. And a week after my wedding, it was actually the day I got home from my honeymoon, my sister called me and told me that she was in a horrific car accident. And I got on the plane right off from getting home from my honeymoon. I went down to Florida for 6 weeks to help her through her stay in the ICU and be there for my sister. She had multiple internal injuries and ended up losing both of her legs. So that's where the ladybug comes in, where she gets her injury.
Mm-hmm. Jenna, first and foremost, I'm so sorry. Of course, my deepest sympathies and condolences. And of course, I think that is, well, first and foremost, it's commendable for you to embark upon the journey and create the narrative. I believe it offers so much strength and guidance now, because this is something that is going to offer a lot of wisdom to those. And it kind of ties back into what I was saying in terms of never judging a book, a person, a place, a thing, whatever, by its appearance, right? My follow-up question that I want to go into, as you were writing this narrative, there's always the challenges that come along with any particular process. Well, you're writing this book, and you're writing a book specifically geared for children. So you know that you need to have that entertainment aspect. But of course, you're writing about something that is so personal to you, and that also can offer a lot of wisdom for those out there. So now you're juxtaposing wisdom with entertainment. As you were creating this narrative, how did you balance the two?
I think I knew that I wanted to teach children that it's okay to be different, and that everybody goes through their own struggles, and not to judge them. But also I knew that I needed to make something very relatable to kids. Yeah. And the ladybug just kind of grew. The garden scene and just the outside grew organically around it, being based around my niece's nickname of my ladybug.
Mm-hmm. And when we're talking about the theme of, things not going according to plan, when you were going through this process and constructing the narrative, did you find yourself challenged by balancing that theme of things not going according to plan, while also making sure that the story didn't become too heavy or even discouraging for children?
I think it honestly came out very easily. I was sitting in the ICU, and she was, on all the machines, and out of sheer time that I had every day, I was using her iPad and just drawing pictures and creating new bugs and adding dialogue to it, and seeing the family support that was involved in this situation.
Yeah.
It just kind of came organically that these bugs were going to be her family and friends and her core support system to help her on her new journey.
Love that. Listen, I think that's a powerful message that you just stated in terms of, that essential, that village that she has around her, the family, the friends. And, those are, of course, being now embodied as these other characters in the book. But how important that is on your particular journey. People, I'm telling you, this is why a book like this is really important and needing to be added to your shelves. I mentioned jokingly at the start, there's a lot of adults out there that can benefit from this narrative. And, even though I added it for levity, it is something that is, I think, very true. Oftentimes we isolate ourselves and we're not as compassionate as we should be to others in need. Now, we're talking about a very specific circumstance here with regards to Jenna and her family. But I promise you, people, you don't got to look too far. You have your own ladybug within your circle, whether it's you, whether it's someone that you know. We are all fighting our own battles. And books of this magnitude are going to help us shift focus and hone in and get back to that unity, get back to being compassionate and helping others in need, whether they're family, friends, or somebody you just met. The book is called The Lucky Ladybug. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's a whole host of other places. Head on over there and pick up your copies today, and I promise you, you're going to be better off tomorrow because of it. My follow-up question, Jenna, that I want to go into, and it's somewhat tied to what you were talking about a second ago. Talking about the family, talking about those around that came to the assistance of your niece. Well, I'm sure witnessing that in this entire process has helped shape your perspective in certain ways. Well, I want to know, how has writing this book taught you personally about resilience and embracing the unexpected?
Funny you should ask, because I was actually born with a physical disability, and when I was in school, I got teased a lot, and it always bothered me. It carried through well into my adulthood. I care a lot less now what people think because I'm a little bit older,
right.
But I wish that people accepted me the way that I was when I was younger, the way that people are accepting my niece, and it just makes me very grateful. And I wish that something like this was out there when I was younger, because I think I could have used it.
Well, listen, Jenna, if the answer isn't there, sometimes it's just waiting for you to create it. And that's exactly what you did by creating this book. And that's why it's so important on what it's going to be able to do for others. How do you hope that this book will inspire children to approach their own challenges with curiosity and courage?
Well, I hope that it does just that they look at themselves and think, hey, I'm different like this ladybug too, but she has all the right people or bugs around her to help her get through it. So if I just surround myself with the right people, I'll get through anything.
Jenna, as we start to close out, listen, we know about this book. We know about the origin story behind it. Well, I'm focusing now on the future. What's next for you? Do you plan on creating a series from this book, or maybe other books entirely different? What's upcoming?
I have no plans for more books in the immediate future. I'm focused on being a mom right now, but I wouldn't rule it out.
People, I'm going to say it for you once again. It's Amazon. It's Barnes & Noble. The book is called The Lucky Ladybug by Jenna Cappucci. Head on over there today, pick up your copies, and get lost in this amazing book. I promise you, the education is second to none. Start today for a better tomorrow. Jenna, this has been a true pleasure. I really do mean it. What you've been able to comprise here is something special, and it needs to be acknowledged. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Thank you for having me.